Hey folks, Mobile Geezer back with this week's Geezer Bits for Sunday, June 10th, 2018. So this week I'll start out with ZTE. It looks like they finally reached a deal with the U.S. Commerce Department, and they will be paying a $1 billion fine together with an additional $400 million in escrow to cover any future violations. So that deal seems to be in place, and it looks like the ban against ZTE has been lifted. Also, ZTE has promised to replace their entire board of directors and to retain a team of special compliance coordinators selected by and answerable to the Department of Commerce for 10 years. Now, they do have that $400 million in escrow to cover future violations, but in reality, White House Trade Advisor Peter Navarro warned today that 3 strikes and you're out. Keep in mind, this is ZTE's third infraction since they first got caught selling to Iran during the Obama administration. And of course, last year, they were caught once again, and they had lied about not giving bonuses to their employees, and that was strike 2. So even though they have the $400 million in escrow, it looks like one more infraction and they won't be able to do any business with any U.S. companies anytime in the future. So I think they mean business this time, and I hope they'll stay on track and get back to doing business. On Friday, ZTE Chairman Ying Yimin sent an apology letter to all 80,000 ZTE employees, basically saying that all of this has been their own fault, and they will be keeping an eye on upper management to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. So I've written my latest article at mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. I called it ZTE and the New U.S. Deal. Comeback? Well, we'll see. So let's hope this puts to bed all the problems that ZTE and the Commerce Department have had, and they'll get back to doing what they do well, which is making affordable, good phones that we can enjoy, and they'll get back to being the 4th largest phone maker in the U.S. It's going to be a long road, but hopefully they'll come back. Next up, after Essential was basically buried by everyone, even to the point of Andy Rubin possibly trying to sell the company, Essential is coming out with a new headphone jack module sometime this summer. That announcement came out this past week and really surprised everybody. And even though it looked like Essential wasn't going to be around much longer, well, they're coming out with their new module, and they haven't had any new modules come out since the phone was released last year. So hopefully they'll stay in business also, and we'll see Essential doing some good things and staying around in the future. Next up, I wanted to mention that my LG V30 finally got its Oreo update, and they've included ThinQ as some part of the update. Now when I turn on my LG V30, instead of saying LG V30, it says LG V30 ThinQ. Now I have the T-Mobile version, and it has Android 8.0, not 8.1, and the April security patch, which is a lot better than the January security patch it had up to this week. So they've added AI camera functionality to the camera, which tries to actually identify what's in the image. And they've also added Q-Lens, which supposedly makes it easier to look up an item or scan a QR code. So they seem to be making the V30 a little more modern by bringing it into the world of LG ThinQ. So I've got it back out with my secondary SIM, and I'll be doing more tests with the camera to see just how things look. But I think it's interesting that they added this stuff. Also, my Moto G6 Plus got a camera update, which now includes Google Lens and YouTube Live, which means I can start a live stream straight from my Moto G6 Plus. So that's pretty cool. Certainly I'll be doing that in the very near future. So interesting camera updates from both LG and Moto. The next thing I had was Apple had its WWDC Developers Conference this week, and they introduced iOS 12. Now, I don't have any Apple devices, but everybody's coming out with the new Memoji, and it looks pretty cool. It is much better than Samsung's, and you can use it with FaceTime. So I just wanted to mention it because it did look really nice. And the last thing I had this week, the Moto Z3 Play has come out, and even though the Z3 Play is one of Moto's mid-range phones, supposedly it's coming out at $499. Right now it's up for pre-order, and it comes with Android 8.1 Oreo, a Snapdragon 636 that does say mid-ranger. Of course, it works with the Moto mods. It has 4 gigs of RAM, 32 or 64 internal storage, 3000 milliamp battery, a 6-inch display, a Super AMOLED screen with an 18:9 aspect ratio. You can pre-order it right now, but if I were looking for a $500 phone, I'd be going for the One Plus, not the Moto Z3 Play. I do have last year's Moto Z2 Play, but I won't be buying this year's Z3 if it actually does come out at $499. So that's all I had for this week. As always, comments are welcome, and thanks for watching.
Yeah.